I'm Dominice.
And I'm Keely.
And you are listening to Booktrospective. So this is our introductory get to know you episode. And I guess we'll just kind of get started because we both are new to this, kind of. And it's just something that we love to do. So I'll let Keely just introduce herself first and what she does because she's more of the expert for this podcast.
Yeah, so I'm Keely. I am the owner of a indie bookstore, Ink Drinkers Anonymous, based in Muncie, Indiana. And yeah, I love books, always love books, so I'm happy that I get to talk books with Dominice.
And I am Dominice. I do not do anything related to books. I'm a nurse practitioner, but I do love to read, and I have another podcast, but my love is for books. Originally, when I wanted to start a podcast, I wanted to do books. So I was on social media, maybe. I was somewhere, and I stumbled across Ink Drinkers Anonymous, and I was like, she would probably be interested, or at least be the best person. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to shoot my shot. So I just inboxed her business page, and she was interested. So I'm so thankful that Keely wants to do this with me, and hopefully we figure this out. We are not podcast experts. She's a little bit more of a book expert than me, but she's already been introducing me to new stuff, and I just love reading. So yeah, that's why we're here. Searches, and we did not prepare for these, so we may or may not have good answers, but just kind of to do a teaser intro episode before we actually launch into the podcast. And I think at the end of this episode, I'll talk a little bit more about what's to come. We'll still be working and figuring things out as we go, so just bear with us. First question, do you remember the first book that you ever read or like got you into reading?
So the first book that I remember reading that is still my all-time favorite book is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Just has a special place in my heart. Absolutely adore that book.
Okay, I definitely know that one for sure. That is a good one. And all of his, like, I don't know, I think, what's the one with the light? There's something
The Light in the Attic.
Yeah, okay. There's like, I was going to say, I remember those. So that's good. For me, it's one of two books. I don't know which one it is. So it's either Summer Sisters by, is that Judy Blume? I'm not sure. Or is it, I don't know if it's Judy Blume, but it's Summer Sisters, or it's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because it's one of those two. My mom's an avid reader too, and like growing up, we read books together all the time. We used to speed read, specifically either like Harry Potter. I remember when, I want to say it's maybe the sixth book when it came out, they mailed it to our house. We got 2 copies because we can't share. And it came like 2 days before it was released, and the box said, do not open before like July 21st or something. And we're like, yeah, okay. So it was Harry Potter, and then also Series of Unfortunate Events. We used to speed read those, like race read. So it's either Sorcerer's Stone or Summer Sisters is the first book I remember reading. So it's been a long time. I was 8 or something when that was. What books are currently on your bedside table or hanging around that you're getting ready to read?
So my bedside table is actually a book cart. So there's a lot, but I believe the one that is most accessible, that's next on my list, is Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Cosby.
Okay. What's that about? No idea.
Jumping into it.
I know specifically my bedside table doesn't have anything on it, but I have a tray table next to my bedside table, and The Butcher and the Wren by Elena Urquhart, is that how you say her last name, is on it. I'm a morbid podcast girly, so I bought it in the when I saw it in the airport, came home, bought it, and I haven't got to read it just yet, but it's sitting there speaking to me. Okay, I'm just kind of looking through this list. What would you say like is your favorite genre?
My favorite genre is probably mystery, thriller. That's what I tend to gravitate toward most. I'm down for pretty much anything. I'm getting more into fantasy, but mystery is where it's at for me.
Yeah, she's introduced me to some thriller, and I do love it. I will say, growing up, I also was a like James Patterson. I read my mom's books, so I do like it. But then I got away because I think, post college, what got me back into reading is romance. But I also do like pretty much anything. I'll read anything, or I'll try anything. So I do like it all. But post college, romance is kind of what got me back into it, and now I'm kind of in fantasy. And then you introduced me to some more thriller, so I like it all. Where do you typically like to read? Is there like a spot in your house, or?
I'm typically a read in my bed kind of person. All the blankets and pillows and just a comfy space. Other than that, probably on my couch. There's a certain spot on my couch that is the best reading spot.
For me, some people might feel like this isn't fair or like I'm cheating. I am an audiobook girl, so I love to listen in the car. I'm always in my car. I'm always on the go. But if I'm actually physically reading, then probably in my bed, because that's my hangout spot too.
All reading is valid. Audiobooks are still counted as reading.
I saw a TikTok, this girl's like, you guys say you read 10 books a month and then you're listening to audiobooks. I'm like, it's the same amount of time. I don't know. Like, I don't think that's cheating, but.
And apparently I saw something that said that it lights up the same areas in your brain as reading. So
yeah, I gotta use my imagination.
Right.
Like, I don't know. So yes, I'm always on the go. So if I didn't have audiobooks, I wouldn't get to do as many as I do. So okay, so this is kind of like some would you rather questions. Would you rather have a friend who loses your book or who dog ears them?
That is such a hard question. I have had a friend that has lost my books before, which was upsetting. But dog earring is blasphemous. I would probably say I'd rather have a friend that loses my book, and then just a reason to get another copy. So
yeah, I would have to agree. Don't write in my book, or don't dog ear them, or crack my spine if I didn't crack it, or I don't know. Don't do that. Just tell. If you do, just tell me you lost it.
Right. I'd rather not see it.
Yes, that one's yours now, and then we'll get a new one. So, would you rather have dinner with your favorite author or favorite character?
Ooh. I honestly would probably say with my favorite author. I have a couple authors that I really like, but the first one that comes to mind is John Green, and I follow him on TikTok, and he's just so funny, and he seems cool to hang out with, have a dinner with.
Yeah, I'm delusional, so I would probably say my favorite character. I don't know. I have so many favorite characters, so it could be any of them, but I'm sure, hopefully, people are listening, and if they are, and they're like a book talk or whatever, girl or guy, then you're like an ACOTAR girl or guy. So for me, it's Bryce Quinlan. So I'll just pick her because she seems like a good time. But I would probably go favorite character because there's so many characters that I like, and so one author is not gonna give me everything I need. Okay, so let's see. Would you rather read a book with an annoying cliffhanger or one where your favorite character is killed off?
Okay, so I would probably go where my favorite character is killed off. I really like crying when it comes to books.
It's cleansing.
So I would definitely go with my favorite character being killed off.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree because I could have multiple favorite characters, but I love when I stumble upon a series that's almost finished or further in, because I don't want to be on a cliffhanger for 2 or 3 years waiting on you to or if that might be the end of the book. I don't know, but I think I could tolerate a favorite character death a lot more. So I have to agree with that. Would you rather lose your place every time you have to read or get a paper cut every time you turn the page?
Goodness. Bring out the Band-Aids. I'd rather get paper cuts.
There's so many pages. I don't know. I guess I need to know more about losing my place. Is it every time I close the book, or is it every 5 minutes? Is there a time? Because I don't know. I would have to go with losing my place. Paper cuts hurt. They do. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with that. Would you rather lose the ability to read any new books or to reread books you've already read?
I would probably say lose the ability to reread books. I'm not the biggest rereading books. Here and there I will, but
yeah,
I love new books.
Yeah, there's nothing like the first time anyways, so I'm okay if I can't ever reread it, but I would have nothing to do. I go into book depression, and if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably a reader, so like you get it, you read like when I read ACOTAR, when I read all 15 Sarah J. Maas books, I was like, what do I do? Like, what's my purpose in life? So like I need something new. If I couldn't read anything new, I'm just never gonna read again. That's horrible. No. Okay. Let's see. Would you rather always have to read in the dark or always read books with tiny text?
Whoa. Probably. That's a really hard one. Probably tiny text, although my head would probably be killing me. But if I read in the dark, then I'd probably fall asleep, so.
I can't, the straining my eyes. I'm definitely going with tiny text. I'll just get one of those super magnifier. I don't know. I'm going to do something, but I can't read in the dark. I'm not a kid anymore. When I was younger, I would try in the car, reading. And you're traveling and you pass a light. Yeah, the light passes you. You're like, yes. So no, definitely tiny text. Okay, last one. Would you rather secretly love a book that everyone else hates or secretly hate a book that everyone else loves?
Ooh. I would probably say... Oh, that's a good one. Because my fear is that I'll read a book and everybody is like, oh, this book is so good. And I read it and I'm like, okay, that was a letdown. So probably love a book that everyone else hates.
Yeah. I'm 50-50. I don't think I care one way or another. Because I've read a book that everyone, people love, a book talk book. And I'm like, it really just wasn't that great. But I don't want to read anything I don't like. So I would rather love a book that everyone else hates than have wasted reading on something that I don't like. So yeah. Okay. So that's kind of just an introduction to us. I'm sure you'll get to know us a lot more. But our plan is to have 4 books a month. That are all different genres. So I think we've talked about a couple of different times. We're definitely going to do a thriller, mystery, horror type of book. Probably a romance book, and maybe fantasy. And I'm kind of thinking, originally we were going to do maybe an autobiography or something, but I think that 4th book could be just a
rotate.
Yeah, a random pick. Maybe it's a fan pick or a recommendation, and it could be anything. Just because there's not as many of those, but hopefully we can pre-post that. So if you want to read along, read before the episode. There will be spoilers on this. So if you're listening to us, we're going to talk about the book. So there may be spoilers, and so if you're okay with that, that's fine. If not, then give you the chance to read beforehand. I don't know what day these are going to come out either. So we're still working on it. Like I said, we just decided to do something and did not plot it all the way out, which is perfectly fine. That's kind of our plan. We'll rate books, we'll fan cast. I hope that whoever's listening is excited to listen with us. I don't know if you know, I did make a Instagram and a TikTok. So we'll have socials for everyone to follow. And I think that's all I have. Do you have anything you want to add?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, we will be posting more soon. And this, again, is Booktrospective. And we hope that you are going to enjoy our podcast. Bye.
Bye.